an entrepreneur is someone who can be in the shoes of entrepreneur, who understands that currently the company doesn't have money, who is willing to bend candles for the company to grow, who is willing to jump from the 4th floor to save the vision of the company. I also want to encourage employers who are out there to create an environment which can make entrepreneurs thrive. When you start a business, don't think that the person who is working for another company is down or is less important than you. We are all important.
Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Chartered Vendor podcast, where we discuss business and everything happening in Africa. And as always, I'm joined by Jerry, the Chartered Vendor.
Hi, Gordon.
How is it, Jerry?
I'm okay. How's it?
So. How's been your month?
The month is okay. It was okay.
We have come to the end of the month.
Yeah, we're
entering June now.
Entering June.
We're actually in June.
Yeah, we're actually in June, and the year is about to end.
Year is about to end.
Yes.
Any resolution that has been fulfilled so far?
Many. Many. We said we're going to publish a book. We're publishing it on the 25th of June. Why African businesses die young.
Yes.
We said we're going to post every day. We're doing that.
You're doing that.
Yeah, and a lot of more achievements which we made, which some of them are a bit private, but yeah, we're pushing. And sometimes, yes, you fail some and you win some.
Yeah, that's business for us. Yeah, so I've been looking at one of the posts that you recently shared. It got quite an interesting attraction from people, whereby we're talking about being an entrepreneur or an intrapreneur. So from my own understanding of what you're trying to say is not everyone has the grace to be an entrepreneur. Some of us, we actually have to work for other people. That's an intrapreneur, and we can actually make more money from that. So, yes. So what's your understanding of the term? Let's start by an entrepreneur.
An entrepreneur is someone who can is a creator, someone who can actually create a business and start employing people. Yes, there's a businessman. People, they want to say there's a business guy and an entrepreneur, but to me, I see them as the same. Okay, fine. Entrepreneur is just saying, according to the Zimbabwean definition, someone who starts their own business and starts employing people. Or the African perspective. That's what we say. That's an entrepreneur. Then we look at intrapreneur. We're looking at someone who can get into the business which has been created by someone and grow it with the entrepreneur to be a big business. Someone who works inside the business. So you look at it, if your business has got more entrepreneurs, most likely that business can grow. What I'm simply saying, an entrepreneur is someone who can get in, for example, M&J. Someone gets into the company and treat it like it's their own.
All right. So in other words, a business can have more than one intrapreneur.
Exactly.
But
And it can also have it can also have a lot of entrepreneurs.
All right.
Like, for example, we're starting a business, but we are 3 of us. We've got a vision.
Yes.
You look at Steve Jobs and Steve Wozniak. Steve Jobs was the marketer and the brains behind the brand Apple. But you look at Steve Wozniak, he was the creator. He was the one who knew how to code. He was the one who knew how to produce all the computer. So all these were entrepreneurs. But yes, you can have a lot of entrepreneurs in one business. It's possible. You can have 3 people. That's why they're co-founders.
Yes, everyone has to have a part into it.
Exactly.
Now, looking into this same issue, I noticed that most of us, actually everyone wants to be the owner. Everyone wants to find something. I want to lead from the top. I don't want to be working for everyone. But then you get to see that there are problems which are involved when you're starting a business. There are challenges that are there as an entrepreneur. And there are also challenges that may come from being an intrapreneur. So, I mean, what are some of the challenges that you can actually expect if you're an intrapreneur?
An intra or an entra. Let us say E or AI.
E.
The E part, okay,
Yes,
because
the E part.
some
Let's start with the
the
E
ways they sound, the
bit
pronunciation is almost the similar.
Yes.
So it's not only when you are starting a business when you face challenges. Entrepreneurs, if you look at it, they face challenges almost on daily basis. It was month in May. May had a lot of holidays, Africa Day, Workers' Day, and I think previously coming from Easter holiday.
Yes.
When things are going fine, it's usually us in business. But when things are going bad, it's usually you are the owner of the business. You must pay us. You've got a contract with us, hence you must pay us. That's some of the biggest challenges, especially what you get, especially in Africa, where you're looking at a business is number one, the capital is actually bootstrapping, which means someone is getting money from somewhere and try to establish a business. For you to even grow the business, you need to plow back what you're actually getting from that business. There are no investors.
Yeah, very true.
Very few businesses have got investors who are coming and pouring money. The money which you're investing in the business is the money which you're actually making in that business, which is hard. Then you also look at it now. When it's like that, obviously, it becomes a game of hand to mouth. Almost 90% of African businesses, they cannot have salaries for more than 3 months. They have to work. I think it was a testimony during COVID era.
Yes, most of the business they had to shut.
Most of the business they had to shut, or most of the business they had to send people home.
Yes.
Why? Because we don't have a lot of reserves.
All right.
So those are the challenges which you face: hiring challenges, marketing challenges. As you're trying to build a business, someone within your business is also thinking of creating that similar idea. So challenges and stress. If you look at the entrepreneurs, most of them, they are stressed. But when I'm not talking about intrapreneur with an I now, I'm now saying this guy now must come in and also understand. This person must come in, be in the shoes of the what?
The intrapreneur.
The intrapreneur, the E.
The E. Yes.
When you're in the shoes, because an intrapreneur is someone who can be in the shoes of entrepreneur, who understand that currently the company doesn't have money. Who is willing to burn candles for the company to grow?
To have money, yes.
Who is willing to jump from the 4th floor to save the vision of the company? Those are the people we call intrapreneurs. People like Tim Cook, people like Dr. Douglas Mboweni, people like Mr. Neva Ngube, Dandem Tande.
Yeah.
Those are people who feel pain when the company is going down.
Yes. From what you're saying, I'm actually getting now to understand the difference. But I see that in order for you to become an intrapreneur with an I, does it also mean that you have to be aligned with the vision of the intrapreneur with an E?
Yeah. Some people, you see, in intrapreneur, someone who can be just brought in to rescue a company.
All right.
You know, the biggest problem is people, they think an entrepreneur is more superior than the intra. That's where the problem is. That's why I had to write that article. Because it's now like right now, because of our economy, especially in Zimbabwe, where the economy is small, everyone, when jobs are not there, everyone is forced to start something.
Yes.
Some people are starting something which is growing. Some people have started well, but the companies are now collapsing. I know it because I'm a business consultant. Every day I'm meeting a person who is suffering. Some business had grown 40, 50 trucks, but right now the companies are now suffering. Are you getting it? Yes. So the problem now in Zimbabwe is someone who is an entrepreneur is better than an intrapreneur. Are you getting it? Yes. It's more like someone who is going to start a business is better than someone who is working in a company, which is wrong. There are intrapreneurs who are surviving better than entrepreneurs. For example, I can be an entrepreneur who is actually getting revenue of $20,000 a month. But there's an intrapreneur who is actually being paid $50,000 a month.
Wow, the difference.
or just on monetary terms, there's already difference.
There's already difference. Yeah.
And it doesn't mean that also you can also be an intrapreneur and also be an entrepreneur.
How do you work that one out?
You can be a CEO of a company running, but you can also start your own company, which is actually also known by the company which you're working for, because it's not competing against the company which you're working for.
All right.
For example, someone can be a CEO in an IT company, but as an entrepreneur is into real estate.
There's no conflict of interest.
There's no conflict of interest.
All right.
So I'm running my real estate. I don't need even time. I'm just buying properties, put tenants there, get my money. I'm buying, I'm selling property. It doesn't need too much of my time. But here, I'm also a CEO working for you.
All right. Yeah.
So the problem now in Africa is because of poverty. We now glorify entrepreneurs and forget that there are also entrepreneurs who are living a better life than the entrepreneurs. For example, we cannot even compare ourselves to Dr. Douglas Mboweni.
Yeah, he has been...
In terms of the brains, in terms of everything which he has achieved in his career.
Yes, they achieved a lot through...
Monetary terms, everything.
Right.
If it's a conference, right now we're hosting a conference. If you're going to call Dr. Douglas Mboweni, he's got much to share than Jerry.
All right.
But Jerry probably started something from scratch, but doesn't make me better than Dr. Douglas Mboweni.
All right. Yeah, I get what you're saying there.
Yeah.
Very, very profound.
We've got also some popular Zimbabwean entrepreneurs. They are way, way, way below Tim Cook.
The richest employee.
The richest employee in the world. And we've got people like Steve Ballmer.
Yes.
Those people, they never started their businesses, but they are working in Microsoft, they are working in Apple, they are pushing billions. But they never started a business. I also like to put it in another angle.
All right.
There are people who are very good at spreading the word. Pastors, reverends, apostles. When they are actually under a church, they flourish. If you notice, there are people who are very powerful who became popular. They were inside other churches. They were inside a ministry. And they became so popular. But if you look at those people, if they try to do their own things,
it doesn't work.
It doesn't work.
So
I'll give you an example, simple example.
All right.
Prophet Makandiwa was in AFM. He became popular in AFM. And he started UFIC. And he's a leader, and he's actually growing UFIC to another height.
Yes.
But we've got examples which we cannot mention for security reasons. They've left the same AFM to start their own churches, but they were actually better known when they were in AFM than when they're out.
All right.
They also have few followers. So not everyone, end of the day, like what you're actually saying when you started, who also have the grace now
to be founders. All right. Some have the grace to grow what is already
and
found.
some can just be found and they're not managers. So I can just start something, but I don't know how to manage it. That's when I need an entrepreneur now to come and manage it and make it profitable. Some people are very good at spotting ideas. I think we can make money because of ABCD. The biggest mistake now is to think that you can also found and probably manage. But these are things which you can learn. Like you can learn to be a manager.
Yes, definitely.
But sometimes it's about knowing yourself to say, are you really a manager or are you just a founder?
Wow. All right. Interesting. Very interesting conversation. I know most of you are actually intrigued by what is being said right now. But it still comes back. We want to tackle it from an African perspective. Because most of us, it's not only me who wants to be an entrepreneur. Most of us who don't know about this intrapreneur thing. So does it mean that I can also be successful as an intrapreneur? And where can I actually distinguish myself to be an intrapreneur or an entrepreneur?
Okay. Like I'll give an example. You're working in M&J.
Yes.
Then you notice that these guys, they've stopped. They were doing websites, but they're now saying M&J no longer wants to do websites. But you can go to the CEO of M&J and say, I know, why are we stopping doing websites?
Right.
Why can't you give me that portfolio? I run it. Under what? I'm not going to start a company outside. I want to run that same portfolio for websites under M&J. But in exchange, give me 40% of the profits which are going to come out of there. That's the brains of an intrapreneur. Is someone who knows that if the company makes more, I also make what? More.
All right.
If the company is going to suffer, I also what? Suffer. So what I'm simply saying is, yes, I know people are encouraged. I know even some of my brothers, they say, no, so long if you're working for someone, you're pushing someone's dream, start your own thing. Yes, that's good. I've got nothing against that. But I'm saying before you even start start your own, why can't you just try to get those opportunities under someone? Who knows? Probably the person who actually started EcoCash. This is not off record. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Disclaimer, I'm just saying.
Yes.
For example, probably it's Dr. Douglas Bowen who actually started EcoCash.
He came with
and said, no, doctor, we can do EcoCash here, but I still do it under EcoNet. But in exchange, give me at least what? Something. Because do you know what? We are better off golden when we are together
than when you're alone.
Because do you know what? As a team, 5 of us,
yes,
we can make more sometimes better than I'm the only one who is actually reading that vision.
The chartered vendor. Chartered, it simply means the experience which I got from the workplace and through formal education. Vendor, it simply means that I was once a vendor selling sweets, selling bananas on the streets. Combined, it makes the chartered vendor. Many people complain, they think that you need monetary capital to start a business. Contrary to that, I only started my business with only a laptop. If you want to know more about my story, grab your copy today.
I also want to encourage employers who are out there to create an environment which can make intrapreneurs thrive.
All right. How can you do that?
Because the problem is the company can be growing, but I'm the only one who is growing.
Yes.
Are you getting it?
Yes.
Financially, I'm the only one who is growing. I'm now owning 5 houses. But my employee is still working. They don't even have a car. Just a car.
Yes,
so look at it. If an environment which is saying, my brother, my sister, if you're going to eat 30,000, you get your 10%.
All right.
Are you getting it? So you get your 3,000. So if you're going to nail this vision, we're getting 30,000 every month, 30,000 every month, 3 times, times 12, you're going to get 36,000. As an intrapreneur or as an employee. Then also, okay, fine. If we hit the target of this year, you also buy your own stand, you also buy your own house. It encourages now the spirit of intrapreneurship, because someone is saying, if you're going to hit targets, we are also going to make money as well. But the problem now is we are also selfish. It's always about us. We're the only ones who wants to wear new suits. We're the only ones who want to wear $5,000 suits, whilst our employees are actually wearing $30 suits. I'm getting it now. That is when now someone says, no, I know everything which you're doing. Let me go and start my own. So the spirit of also promoting people who can be entrepreneurs is not there in Africa. We are too selfish. We want to earn alone. We want all the glory. We even when it's a presentation, I'm always the person who's supposed to be at the front. Like just recently, I think we've got an Odu roadshow.
Yes.
I'm the one who's supposed to be seen. Are you getting it?
Yeah.
So why can't you give someone to get that limelight?
Yes. Yeah. I get what you're trying to say.
Yeah.
But as an entrepreneur, someone, let's say as the founder, from what you're saying to say you need to acknowledge the people that are working for you, that are making you strive. What if I'm then jealous to say, I think this one is now trying to be more than me?
It's sad.
Was it there? Some employers actually say, no, I think this one is not trying to be the boss.
It's sad.
So I think I need to chase them away from my company.
It's sad. It's sad. It's a sad scenario. It simply means that's why I'm saying we need to create environment which is conducive for entrepreneurs to survive.
All right.
If I'm a leader, I believe that my leadership is actually seen in the people I'm leading.
That's true.
And it's also seen by the people who I once led. I don't have to be jealous when someone is now becoming better than me. Actually, my wish is to have more people who are better than me. It means it gives me room to focus on other things.
Yeah.
That's my prayer personally. Why? I'm simply saying we need to create, because if you're now saying you've developed a talent and you're now jealous of that talent, what simply means is you are not a leader. Look at Pep Guardiola. He's groomed the likes of Arteta. They're now leading other teams. I think he's got another guy, Ten Hag.
Yes.
Once worked with Guardiola as well. So it means this guy is a leader. But if you've seen someone who was just a coach and they've never had an assistant coach who is going to be coaching on his own, then you've got a problem.
All right.
Because to me personally, I don't have a problem with someone getting out of M&J, create their own brand. I'll be proud. Because it means that I've groomed someone who can do something. I'm saying, yes, probably I've lost talent at M&J, but this person is going to do something which is better than me or closer to what I'm doing. I'm proud.
It's a success for you.
It's success for me. Like right now, if you look at I'll talk of my sister, I now know that people, they now know her because of cars. But yes, I know she's got a company called Biara Consultants. I don't have a problem. When I see a new car which is written Biara Consultants, I'm like, I'm the creator. Hey, because at the end of the day, if they're going to trace everything, it has to come back to me.
That's an entrepreneur.
Exactly. We have to have more. Yes, she is doing well as she has created her own. But I also want to keep entrepreneurs like people like Tamuka, who should also shine.
Under the
build
brand.
Zambia, make it profitable. Thumbs up to Tambuka. Let's make money.
Yes. All right. Interesting. Very interesting.
Yeah. Yes. Probably at some stage, Tamuka will say, I'm Dara, and I want to start my own. That's fine. I'm getting it. End of the day, I will tell you there are plenty of customers. I'll give you an example also, even in music.
Yes.
Koffi Olomide, Fally Ipupa. If you know the popular song which is called Glory by Koffi Olomide,
yes.
The guy who was chanting and the guy who was dancing, that's Fally Ipupa. Fally right now is now more celebrated. Even, yes, Ndara Koffi has managed to stay relevant for many years. I think he's now close to 70, but he's still relevant.
Yes.
You look at Fally, who is now, I think 47, if I'm not mistaken. When Fally sees Koffi, he sees a father. But right now, if you look at Fally is actually, I heard that Fally is even, in terms of net worth, is now even higher than Koffi. But Koffi is not jealous because end of the day, you cannot talk about Fally when you cannot talk about Fally when you're leaving out Koffi.
Yes.
But we are not saying also there are people who are also still part of the what? Koffi
brand.
They should also shine there. People like Cindy, the lady who usually sing with Koffi. They have to also shine. What I'm simply saying is, yes, when they leave, they become entrepreneurs. Let them shine. When they stay, let them become entrepreneurs so that they can also shine.
Yeah. Interesting.
Sometimes it's better for you not to even to say, no, the credit belongs to me. Give them. Let them shine. When they shine under the brand grows, the brand is strong. Otherwise, we're never going to have... Sometimes you know that some of the opportunities which you get, they actually come from the people who have left our organizations. So personally, if someone leaves my organization, I still love them, I still like them, And I know, everyone who left, I have groomed a lot of people, and the people I've worked with, whether I fired them, whether they resigned, there's something special. Because someone who has worked for us for more than 6 months continuous has got something special in them. They might have weaknesses, but they've got a lot to write good about them.
Which is true. It's very, 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 very true. Actually, when you're giving an example of Koffi, I just have an example that came into my mind on our local scene. You can look at the likes of Japreza and Baba Harari. They were once together in a band, but when Baba Harari decided to go and start his own thing, Japreza even supported him. They can even sing together, which shows that it's something which we got.
It's maturity.
And
also, if you look at it, there's also what's her name? Stimela.
Yes,
she's still part of the
Japreza
third generation brand, but she also shines there. So Stimela, that's your simple example. Stimela is your intrapreneur, INTRA. Baba Harare is an entrepreneur, but I started his own brand, but I don't know where his brand is going right now. Is it a right direction? That one is a story of another day.
Which is very interesting. Yeah. So what are some of the traits that I can say, I'm now a trait that someone can look at and then say, I think I'm now an intrapreneur. When I look at myself, I can actually tick the boxes to say, these are the traits to say that I'm in the right part of being an intrapreneur before I become an entrepreneur.
Yeah, number one is strategy. An intrapreneur is to know strategy.
All right.
There are people who are supposed to know that when we are sinking right now, how can we actually get out of a danger? Are you getting it?
Yes.
They're thinkers. You need to be a thinker. For you to be an entrepreneur, even to be an entrepreneur as well, you need to be a thinker. Some people will never think about anything. They can work for you for 20 years and they will never say, at least one day, Jerry, I've thought about it. They will never think about anything. They'll just do what you have said.
All right.
So entrepreneurs are people who can take full responsibility. Are people who can also mirror with the vision of the company. Are people who understands the direction. That's why you notice that even in music, there are bands which can survive after the founder has passed on.
Yes.
But there are bands which can actually collapse
after the founder has died.
Yes, died.
Yes. Which is very interesting. Maybe I'm sure we are running out of time, but before we go, I always ask you to give small tips to entrepreneurs. Zimbabwe, this continent.
Yeah. I think the tip which I'll just give people is let us create more entrepreneurs. If I lead any organization, you shouldn't feel jealous of your people. Let them shine, let them thrive. You cannot be everywhere at the same time. Like if you look at the vision of building timeless businesses in Africa, it's a big vision.
Yes.
And you cannot do it alone. You need people. You need partners. I prefer partnering with people I've worked with. I prefer also giving even shareholding to the people I've worked with than people and outsiders. Because if I worked I worked with you for 3-4 years, I know how you think.
Yes.
I now know your work rate. I now know your strengths and your weaknesses. I know how to cover up your weaknesses. I know also how to also help you probably to realize, to convert these weaknesses into strength. So I would like to say to Zimbabweans, let us create an environment of entrepreneurs. And lastly, when you start a business, don't think that the person who is working for another company is down or is less important than you. We are all important. Actually, there are plenty of entrepreneurs out there. There are plenty of people who are working as employees in these other organizations who are thriving, doing very well. And those people, we can actually benefit from them in terms of ideas, in terms of knowledge. So I just want to say to the people, it's not always about starting. Even to the employees who are out there, sometimes if there's room for growth in the company which you are in, maximize on it. Try to be a partner to your boss. Who knows? You can actually build something big. If you also think that you can build on your own, no problem. Go out, try it, see how stressful it is. It's rewarding, but it's stressful. Zimra, courts. One thing I want to tell you, Gordon, if you haven't been in the courts,
yes,
you haven't started being an entrepreneur.
All right.
You have to get in the courts, sued.
The baptism,
your employees, NEC, everything is now on you. That's okay if you know how that you can. And entrepreneurs, they rarely sleep. Less hours of sleeping. Mm-hmm. Some of us have actually started operating since 3 a.m.
Yeah,
that's entrepreneurship for you. You less time with family. Mm-hmm. That's entrepreneurship with you. So for you, I just want to say to the people out there, and I strongly believe that even as our government as well, support entrepreneurship, support business people. Don't make life tough for them, and we can build the Africa which we really want. Thank you.
Building timeless businesses in Africa. So, ladies and gentlemen, that has been it, the podcast where we'll be talking about intrapreneurship and entrepreneurship, the difference between it and what you need to know. Maybe you're an intrapreneur, you have people that are working for you and you're not even realizing their full potentials to be entrepreneurs. Jerry, thank you very much for hanging out with me today, and it's an honor to have you as always.
Thank you so much.
So remember, ladies and gentlemen, to subscribe, like, and share the video with others, and even interact with us in the comment section. Tell us what you think about these differences. In Africa, we know we all want to be entrepreneurs. Tell us what you think, and see you on the next podcast.